going to be hard to explain this to you without coming across as some sort of tinfoil hat conspiracy nut. But I assure you, everything I'm about to tell you is true. There's a group in an organization in New York City called the Council on Foreign Relations. Many of you might have heard of it. Its existence was brought to light for the very first time in the mainstream by this book, written in 1966 by Carroll Quigley. He was a member of the council. He was also Bill Clinton's history professor at Georgetown University. In that book, he explains the existence of and the goals that the council hoped to achieve. Many of those goals were achieved with the creation of the UN in 1946. At the Bretton Woods Conference, they created the United Nations, the International Monetary Fund, the World Bank, the World Trade Organization, and they also set up the US dollar as the world's reserve currency. And they set up a mechanism through which the ebbs and flows of the world economy would operate. And it's centered in the Bank of International Settlements in Switzerland. That is the central bank of the central banks. And every year, the chairman of the Fed goes to Switzerland and meets with the heads of the Bank of England, the European Community Bank, all of the other banks, all of the big central banks of the world. This network is a privately controlled economic structure designed to benefit the men who control it, the men and women who control it. Now, what benefits them is third world poverty, population control, free trade agreements, which give them access to slave labor, open borders, and the ultimate destruction of the nation state as we know it. Now, these are the stated goals of the Council on Foreign Relations. All you have to do is go to their website at CFR.org and spend some time there, and you'll find out that everything that Mr. Quigley said in this book is true. In 2008, we're going to be called upon to elect a new president. The Democrats, the Republicans, the Independents, we have a stable of candidates to choose from. Now, out of that stable of candidates, every single one of them is either closely affiliated with or an actual member of the Council on Foreign Relations, with the exception of Mike Gravel, Dennis Kucinich, and Ron Paul. I think we all know that Kucinich and Gravel really don't have a chance, so the only horse that we have in the race that could possibly win is Ron Paul. That's why you have to vote for him. You owe it to your children to vote for him. If we continue to elect CFR candidates, we are going to continue to see our freedoms eroded. We are going to continue to see corporate America taking over the political process. And it's a scary world, a scary future that we face, because corporations owe it to the people who run corporations owe it to their stockholders to achieve one thing: long-term profitability. And if in order to achieve that goal they have to run roughshod over the Constitution, they'll gladly do so. If they have to invade other nations, they'll gladly do so. If they have to leave a planet littered with dead bodies to achieve their profit goals, they'll gladly do so. That is what's happened to the political process in this country and the world. But we're talking about America today. And if you don't finally step outside the process and put a man in the White House that truly represents the people, I fear that your children and my children and their children are going to end up as nothing but food for the corporate profit machines. This is your chance, America. Stand up. Do what's right.